The Bucks and the Kings play tonight. Hey. Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast is here in the building. I'm finally here. I apologize to y'all for missing a couple shows and not really bringing up the quality of the show. So I apologize for that. You know what I mean? That's my bad. But I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance. And unfortunately, the Sixers wasn't. The Sixers was not back with a vengeance tonight. We got the win last time, and this time I tell you, who did come back with a vengeance. What's his name? OG Anunoby. How you say his last name? He came back with a vengeance, and guess who didn't either? Wayne's man, the boy that Wayne been putting the cape on for years. Wayne been putting the cape on for Tobias Harris, playing Captain Save him, coming to his aid in the nick of time, and all this whole other stuff. And guess what he did, Wayne? He let you down. Your man embarrassed you. See, the dudes I root for, the boys I'll give props to and all that, they come through.
What Jordan Poole? Is that who you talking about?
No, they didn't give Jordan Poole props. I said Jordan Poole had to go when Jordan Poole had to go.
No, you said he was. You was calling him the next. You was calling him the next chef. Stop it.
Your problem is you don't know when to let go.
Airplane for Toby, Wayne. Airplane for Toby.
It's all held on too long. And now this dude that you held on so long that you have no choice but to let go. You got no choice.
What exactly have I been saying about Toby? What is it that I say about Toby?
Let me finish my monologue first, and then you.
No, don't put my name in there. Then you go ahead and you speak.
Your name is going to be all up in my monologue because you've been caping for this ball for years.
Keep my name out your mouth.
So now that all the caping is over, we come to see that this dude, without Joel Embiid, is not just not good. He's terrible. He's terrible. Look at this. Look at this. 26 minutes, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 for 6. The only shot he got was a layup, and he actually missed like 3 layups following that one he got. Then he went on to miss like 3 more point blank layups. I said, yo, this I can't no more. I can't. I was there for a moment. I was trying to see where Wayne was coming from. Wayne actually reeled me in. He kept talking about Toby so much and all this stuff like that.
Talking about Toby as the 4th best player on the team?
Yes. He's not even that no more. He's not even that. He's not even Paul Reed. Paul Reed is actually playing better than Toby the last couple games.
He's not the 4th best player.
He's not. He's no longer.
So what's the pecking order on the team then?
You're gonna get to everything.
Toby.
It's gonna be a jam-packed show. We're gonna get to all of it. But Toby got to start to show how terrible he played, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Y'all go ahead, y'all say what y'all gotta say, because I'm coming back to talk about Toby a little bit more. I'm not done with you yet, Wayne. I'm not done with you and Toby yet.
It ain't got nothing to do with me. You can talk about Toby all you want. Hey, he stunk. He stunk. That's why his averages is what his averages is. And you know what irritated me the most about him is, and this is what bothers me the most about him, other than the consistency, he's scared. It's like, he's sitting at that 49% shooting percentage, and when he misses a couple shots, he's scared. At least Oubre keep attacking the basket. I'd rather him play like he played on Sunday. Sunday he kept shooting. At least he was scared. Anytime Obi went anywhere near him, he threw the ball away. That's ridiculous, bro. You gotta especially when Embiid's not there, you got to at least be aggressive, and he wasn't aggressive at all.
Wayne, what you think about Oubre tonight? I will get into that.
I'm hyped.
Whole team kind of stunk though. I mean, Oubre
at least was aggressive though. I give him that.
I agree with that. He is what he is. He tried to be aggressive. He's not a superstar. He's not your number one. He's not even a. Maybe he's a 4. He might be the 4th best option.
He's a third option. I told
you about Buddy Hill irritates me too sometimes because him too.
He let me down. He's let me down big time, bro.
He disappears. I told y'all he disappears. He'll have his games where he ball out. Then he'll have his games or two where he played terrible, like tonight, 1 for 7,
4 for 11 total.
1 for 7 from 3. Yeah, 4 for 11 total. Just played. I don't know. Team just played terrible. I know y'all gonna beat up on Toby, so I don't want to get on him, but I kind of blame Daryl Morey. But we'll get into that later.
All right, wait, real quick for y'all say that. Let me just say this. Everybody keeps saying I said Toby. I didn't say Toby was better than OG. I said I didn't say he was better than Porter. I didn't say what I said was they're the same range.
You said he was better.
OG had a game on 48% shooting. He had a good game tonight. So evidently he's not great either. They're on the same bracket, but Toby get paid too much money to be in that bracket.
It's a different bracket. It's a different bracket. Yes, it is. It's like Middleton and Toby, right? Yeah. You kept trying to say they're the same. They not the same.
Exactly.
Wow, what Middleton doing now?
He won a chip. He hurt.
No, Giannis won a chip, scoring 50 points a game.
Middleton, no, that was in that one game. Remember, Middleton had a game winner in one of them series for him. Middleton balled out that year.
Let me get my opening. All right. Here's what I want to take it back a little earlier this year because the 76ers organization decided that it was a good idea to give Daryl Morey an extension off of how Embiid was playing. They gave this man an extension, and what has he done to deserve the extension? Nothing. We looking real foolish. We didn't do anything of significance. Didn't get no value for James Harden, and then Tobias is leaving at the end of the year, walking away with nothing. But you know what? That's good. We see we're going to talk about Tobias. So briefly, I want to talk about Tobias Harris. All right, because I was thinking maybe he might be in a little slump, but what has he done with the 4 games against the Knicks this year? So you know what I did? I put him up. Okay, game 1. He had 5 points. 5 points.
You don't even do Bible. You don't even do Bible.
5 points, 3 rebounds. That was
you don't even do your Bible study that's intense. Now you gonna dig back.
So you know what? That's disingenuous. You talking about him against one team.
Let me finish. Game 2, 7 points, 4 rebounds. That's game 2. Game 3, everybody's going, nobody's here. He had 11 points, and we won. 11 points, but he was 0 for 3 the first half.
How many rebounds? How many rebounds? Go ahead. Say that. Don't miss this.
And the reason being is because
don't say reason being. Just say it's sad.
They had 12 rebounds. The reason why he had 12 rebounds because the Knicks shot horribly that game. So everybody was missing. The balls was coming. They was coming down easily. And then tonight he finished with 2 points. So we know that this Knicks team has his number. We know that when the team is physical, he falls, he folds.
Absolutely. That's why we got beat.
That's not why we have beat. It's why we need him off the team.
That's fine too.
Weakness for us. He's a weakness. Mm-hmm. And you cannot defend this man any longer. Anybody here that's defending him, they don't know basketball.
To argue that much about the 4th or 5th best player on the team is ridiculous to me. And it's only because of the money he gets.
To the 3rd, to the 4th, then you said to the 5th. Pretty soon.
When did I say he was the 2nd?
You used to always
hold on, Wayne. He's the rank the best scorers on the team, please.
Right now. Wait. You're saying the best players or the best scorers? What are you saying?
Rank the options.
At the start of the season, where would you have him ranked?
At the start of the season, I had him 3rd. I did. I had him 3rd.
I
had him and Oubre as like neck and neck because Oubre was coming off a 22-point-a-game score. Oubre was scoring 22 points a game last year. So I had him and Oubre, and we said in the beginning when we started talking about it in the beginning of the season, I said either one of them could either night be 3 or 4.
I
said it on the pod.
I think he double talking.
I said it on the pod. Oubre, when we got Oubre, he was scoring 22.
You wrote about Oubre disappearing for months at a time. Let that go.
That's when we was having that whole discussion before.
Okay, but if he's the if he's the 4th, 3rd, or 4th best option,
it's still no excuse for what he did, what he's doing in this stretch. It's no excuse for
when Bede and Maxey were going, he did nothing.
I agree.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Agree.
When you lose your top 2 scorers, you expect him, who was projected at the beginning of the season, to be 3rd or at least the 4th best scorer. Now, if he's your 4th best, now you lose your top 2. He's the 1st or 2nd option. So for him to now play this terrible being the 1st, 2nd option is egregious. I
agree.
Ridiculous. And I do agree. Tony Wiley said he told y'all all the hype about Buddy Hield. He said he was trash. The Sixers might not even make the playoffs this season. Yeah, Buddy Hield was letting me down. I expect a little bit more. I see why he was coming off the bench now. I expected a little bit more from Buddy Hield. I'm thoroughly disappointed what I've been seeing from him. And in his defense, I mean, he trying, but it just ain't working. He missing a lot of open threes. This what I'm surprised about. But it's, I mean, beat or not, they open. He getting a lot of open looks that he breaking.
But don't you have to bring him back?
Who? Buddy
Hill?
Yeah.
At what rate though? Because he's
you got to bring him back. You got to.
You ain't got to bring nobody back.
No, you don't. You don't cut off. You don't. You what you got to do? You got to.
So you just threw away 2 second-round picks.
Second,
they come and go. Yeah, that's what GMs are supposed to do. Make deals and bring them in. And
you ain't supposed to throw away picks. Though.
It ain't throwing away. That's what GM is.
If you don't resign them,
that's what GM is. That's not. You could get that somewhere else around the way. That's their job is to bring picks in and make use picks for trades. That's a GM job.
What about Oubre? I see Ample Mind saying he said Oubre game 2 bipolar. What are y'all doing with Oubre? Y'all bringing him back?
I still would bring Oubre back.
It depends.
Like
on
I said,
what money you want.
Yeah, it's true. I would bring Oubre back before I brought Toby back.
I will say that dunk Oubre had in the second quarter was ferocious.
It was nice.
He almost put my man arm in the rim. That joint was crazy. I will say this about Oubre, and the team in general. I know Ethan and Tim is on this B kick about he was shooting the ball.
Usage rate.
Yeah, and all that stuff like that. It's very evident we need a B's usage rate to be this high. And when B's usage rate is high, I don't care what nobody else say. Everybody else look better. Like we wasn't complaining as much about Tobias. We wasn't complaining as much about Oubre. Wasn't complaining as much about nobody.
That's the problem. Yeah, you can't.
That's not the problem. Let me finish.
You're relying on a one person.
Let me finish.
No, let me finish. You're relying on this one person.
I started the point. Can I make my point, please?
You've already made it, but go ahead.
No, I did make my point. It's very evident
that Embiid is the MVP of the league.
Yes, their own devices can't do it. They can't do it. I don't care how much you tone your usage rate down. Guess what? If we'd have toned our usage rate down, we'd have been in 5th place when B was here. But if his usage rate turned up, we was in 3rd. Possibly with a possible chance to get in 2nd. This is very evident to me that B definitely was a legitimate MVP candidate. Should have been MVP of the league if he didn't get hurt. And two, we needed him to shoot the ball that much. It was a necessity, and I told y'all that.
It's a necessity because, like me and Tim said, Morey built the team wrong.
That's what I'm talking about. It's the construction.
Okay, regardless of that, you got to build the team. Find what you got.
They built the team to go around and beat. That's what they built the team for.
Poorly constructed. What you got to do is look. Take for example.
You can't build it. Go ahead, Tim. You can't build a team to beat miss 2 games in a hole.
Look at the Boston Celtics.
He missed 30 games.
The Boston Celtics they legitimately have great players all around them. You got Jaylen Brown and you got Tatum. Both of them are really good. You almost got to construct a team as if Embiid is Porzingis.
Memphis balled that year. Memphis balled that year. Ja missed a lot of games. They still make the playoffs.
Wait. All right. Bernard said Maxey haters and Embiid lovers need to stop it. There will never be a 6'2" guard that will need a team lead. Are you saying lead a team?
I'm saying lead, I think.
And are you saying Embiid haters and Maxey lovers? Is that what you're saying? Because you're saying the 6'2"
Maxey
guard
haters
will never
and Embiid lovers.
Yeah, you gotta give another $5 and explain what you mean.
But because that statement kind of doesn't make sense.
Like, no,
good looking out, Bernard.
No, but in all honesty, this is the gravitational pull of Joel Embiid. He covers up a multitude of sins. Because when you look at it, without Embiid, our rebounding sucks, our defense sucks, our offense sucks. Because Embiid is that good of a caliber of player, even though some people on here love to hate on him and say that he's you know what I'm saying, he's the black hole, he's in everybody's way. When Embiid not there, all these other guys will step up. That don't look to be the case.
But,
to
win, what I'm saying is, if you want to win on this league at a higher level, at the highest level, you still want Embiid to be that dominant force, but you just don't want him to take up all the uses because your team looks bad without him. You need to have a team that can still win with or without him on a court, and we don't have that clearly.
So, like Ephraim's point, go ahead about the usage rate that's what Embiid needed.
He Yeah, he did.
Get better players.
This team, regardless of what y'all say, for this team, that's what he needed to be, and it's very evident. These dudes by themselves. I remember Tim's grand proclamation. Well, now Embiid is hurt. Now everybody else can really get their game up, and they could do this and they could do that. Yeah. They could do what 106 to 79. They could do that, right? Against the Knicks. Not even at full strength. The Knicks are still missing people too.
Well, y'all told me. Well, you told me Maxey should be the main scorer and Embiid should focus more on rebounds.
What does this prove?
Ain't that what you said?
That Joel Embiid needs to score.
It proves that the team is not constructed properly.
But get all that, dude. That's not what your argument was.
Forget about that.
No. I'm talking about as regards your argument. That wasn't your point. Don't try to change the game now. Don't Wayne me now. Don't hit me with the Wayne. Don't hit me with that. Don't try to change the argument in the middle of the argument. Your argument was that Joel Embiid.
I don't do that.
More. You said he needs to facilitate more to these other dudes. He needs to get the Oubres involved more. He needs to get Toby involved more. He needs to get Maxey involved more. That was your argument. You didn't say the team wasn't built right. Now you're saying it's not built right. But based on how the team is built, this was how he needed to play in order to win. It's very evident. There's no arguing that point to me.
I know I was saying we never replaced James Harden.
Stop.
I know I was saying we never replaced James Harden when we got rid of him. That was my main concern. That's what I didn't like. We didn't get a legitimate player to replace Harden.
I thought you didn't like Harden. I thought you didn't. You thought Harden was
good.
No
matter if I like him, still.
You thought he was good for us?
Back.
You thought Harden was good?
What happened with Harden? Did we get out the second round? So obviously,
no. I'm just asking. But you saying we didn't replace him. So if we didn't replace him, that wasn't that good.
All right, let me ask you this: is Harden a superstar in the league?
No, superstar not anymore. I don't think he's a star though. Yes, he's a star.
With the more he kept screaming superstar. Remember with Ben Simmons? I want a superstar. With Trayton Harden, I'm not giving him away for nothing. Wayne too. I don't want to give Harden away for nothing.
Well, Harden was
away for nothing.
Harden was a superstar coming out.
He gave Harden away for nothing. What did we get?
Cap space.
Nothing. That was my whole point of the trade.
So on to the Eagles talk. We signed Saquon Barkley. That was a good thing. The Sixers ain't make the payoffs. We might as well start facing the reality now.
You know they gave up.
So wait, where's the sources? Who's your sources that said Beat ain't gonna be coming back until the last week of the season?
Who told you that?
I actually heard it. I think Ramon Shelburne.
See, I would have shared the link, but when I share the link, y'all talking about y'all can't open it up on your phone. So
no, because you send it from this obscure app that nobody has. What is it?
I send it from T-Mobile. Take your phone. Take your Razor phone back. It's a smartphone on T-Mobile. They give you the whole thing.
That's not Tim. Is that T-Mobile? He's sending on some obscure news app that nobody has.
It's on T-Mobile. It's the thing on T-Mobile.
It was more like double D mobile.
It was like some obscure news, or it wasn't even no regular news site that you send it. I don't know where it's from, but it won't open up on my phone. It's saying I gotta download it, and I don't know what kind of spam.
We all know you get a phone that's like 5 years past due whenever you get your phone, bro. So come on,
true. That is true. I won't deny that. I look for the cheapest phone I go buy. But the point, the fact of the matter is, all right, if Wayne's sources are correct, that Joel Embiid is not coming back until 1 week left in the season. Should you even bring him back at that point?
Well, Bleacher Report says he's nowhere near, not anywhere near close to returning.
But ain't you the one saying one that ain't Bleacher Report the same one that said he was working out at full ferocity or something like that?
Like they said he was lifting the weights but they said basketball activities. He's light basketball activities. I think they're just being cautious and doing what Tim was talking about. Like just waiting to bring him back the last week of the season and see where they at.
Him at all.
So Cat,
he gotta be healthy.
I'm not opening the MOT.
Cat to be ready before Beat.
Who?
Cat.
How?
Minnesota.
They gave Cat the same thing they gave Embiid, 4 to 6 weeks.
We'll see.
This is disheartening, man. This season started off so promising. It was a time in December where we couldn't lose. Like we was cleaning the table and mopping the floor with everybody, and now the wheels are falling off the bus because the best player, who Tim and Ethan was adamant about playing, and saying he wasn't hurt, he was faking injuries and all this stuff like that. And the voice of the people forced Joel to get out there and play because Doc Rivers used to say he didn't want to play and he was lazy and all this yada yada yada. And now you got reports like Marcus Morris coming out and saying, "Let me finish." No, I'm not. The Marcus Morris now coming out and saying Joel Embiid's the best teammate he ever played with, and he puts his body on the line all the time. But we had other people
trying to get back into the league.
Yeah, other people
trying to get back into the league.
Yeah, other people disingenuous about his injuries and he's faking and all this stuff like that.
Want to come back to the Philadelphia
to play. See, I'm losing my voice now.
He only played with this dude for a week.
Y'all forced Joel Embiid to play, and now he played. What me and Wayne was saying, yo, let him rest. If he hurt, let him be hurt. Let him chill. He got big body dude. His knees and stuff is very fragile. When you big, you got all that power, all that weight on your tendons and your ligaments and blah blah blah. Y'all ain't trying to hear that. Y'all want
because he running from Joker. He running from Joker. He just don't want to face Joker. Remember,
this is your fault. This is what y'all getting. I'm gonna bring it up every show until Joel Embiid come back because y'all wanted this. Y'all said play. He not hurt. Play, and now he get hurt. This is your fault.
Hey, Tim, didn't you say
Pat Beverly said about
the wolf?
Exactly, X-Men. Now they
Tim, you said Ramona Shelburne, right? That's who you said was the quote was from.
That was her.
Yeah, she said he's not anywhere close right now to coming back, but he is able to get on the court and do some light work here. The hope that they have in Philly is that they can just stay in the mix with Joel Embiid to come back the last week or so, if the season at least where he has a chance to come back in some conditioning for the playoffs. So I guess it was looking to see what they looking like, and if they got a chance of going into the playoffs, then he'll come back the last week. That's what they hoping for.
It's a shame. It's a crying shame. Y'all pat yourselves on the back. Y'all Philly fans, y'all did this.
Joel did it to himself, and the Sixers. And this is what I'm talking about. The Sixers. The Sixers organization.
Why did Joel Embiid want to play? Why did he want to play so bad?
Because he wanted to get that 30-10 record that he was chasing. That he came back in the Knicks game, we getting blown out by 20, and he comes back in the game to get 30-10, hobbling just to get 30-10. Stay behind on the bench.
No,
so is that when he got? But is that where he got hurt and injured? He got hurt and injured in the other game, right when the ball fell on his leg.
Thank you.
He was hurt before that. No, he's hurt before that.
But he was still able to play. He was hurt before that.
Or was he hurt before that?
But he was hurt before that and was going to take the games off and rest. But the fans that was talking about Joel Embiid need to man up, he need to get in there. He faking injuries. He's scared.
The Denver game he was supposed to play didn't say he was hurt. Just say you hurt.
He said he was hurt.
That's why the Sixers got fined 20 or 30.
No, he said he was hurt before. He said he was hurt. That's not B. That's the Sixers not putting him injured on the injury report. Obviously, B didn't play because he was hurt. But y'all tried to say he was scared of the Joker. The air is too thin up there in Denver. It was all this fluffery y'all was trying to do. And all these shenanigans y'all was playing in order to throw hate on my young boy. And now y'all got what y'all asked for.
This is my point about the Sixers organization. First of all, their medical staff is notorious for misdiagnosing players. Look at Maxey. This is my thing. If Embiid is, first of all, Embiid probably could have went for that meniscus surgery weeks ago, to be honest with you, because he been tweaked his knee. But if Embiid is hurt, say he hurt. What are you doing? This is the same organization that said Maxey back in there with a dinged up brain.
Stop it.
Maxey didn't even know what his name was, but he ran around on the basketball court. How many times did diagnose that? He didn't even know where he was at.
How many times do you see guys in football play, get hurt, come back in and play? It's the same injury. They don't see
he doesn't have a helmet on.
What he do? It don't matter. Concussion is a concussion. A concussion is a concussion. If you ever had a concussion, when you first get hit, you do feel like, all right, you gain some stuff back and you continue. Then remember when what's his name?
Professional doctors who's supposed to look for this.
But you don't see the signs. You don't always see the signs. You don't always see the signs.
On the basketball court. Let's be honest.
You don't always see them signs though.
What's wrong with Maxey on the basketball court?
Maxey even said himself it wasn't until after that he felt foggy. The next day he felt foggy.
He was foggy running around on the basketball court. You could tell. Remember, I was like, "What is wrong with Maxey?" We kept saying, "What's wrong with Maxey playing scared?"
First of all,
man, tell him.
Maxey's trying to stick to referees.
First of all, Maxey's hair is like a helmet in itself. So if he hit the ground, they probably didn't even think he hit the ground. His head that hard because his head is like a cushion.
He said to his mom, he had a knot in the back of his head.
Hey, Master Crab, that makes a lot of sense. That explains a lot. He said he's had 5 concussions. So
a concussion can be easily misdiagnosed. Ethan been on this tangent about how horrible it is. So what else? What information do you have about how bad the Sixers training staff is outside of this concussion and y'all forcing Joel Embiid to play? Like, what else do you have?
Sixers medical staff misdiagnosed somebody's injury years ago, and they the reason that started something. I gotta look it up. I'll send it to y'all. Sixers medical staff is notorious for misdiagnosing players.
Years ago, what years ago you talking about? How long ago you talking?
Barkley playing with Jeff Hornacek and Hersey.
But you do realize this is a whole different ownership and everything else from that, right?
Ethan will pull something up from like 83, like Moses Malone.
Yeah, he probably talking about he probably talking about Andrew Toney, because that's the whole thing. They talk Andrew Toney's ankle. I know that story from back, and that's why Andrew Toney can't stand the Sixers and don't never come and show up for nothing, because they was trying to rush him back to pay.
Sergeant Bass saying sit B the rest of the year. Yeah, X-Man saying the Andrew Toney thing. Sergeant Bass is saying sit B for the rest of the year. And it depends on what you're looking like. I agree. If you out of contention, I might not even play him if I'm in the playing game. I might not.
I agree. I agree with that.
At this point, it's like you might as well just.
But if he doesn't play anymore of the season, are you letting him play in the Olympics?
What do you mean let him play? He a grown man. When do the Olympics start?
Right after the season is over.
The Olympics start right after the season. So you mean right after the playoffs? So that's a whole nother couple months, right?
It's the Summer Olympics.
So you're talking about a whole nother couple months, though, right?
If I'm the Sixers organization, I'm gonna ask them sternly, don't play, because to me, if you can't be, you're still healing. In my point, I need you next season fully healed. Clearly, he can't stay healthy. He's a big man, all that weight, and you got to play the Olympics. No, nope.
I mean, I could agree with a lot of that about the Olympics. I don't think I would want him to play. I want him to get 100% as best as he can. I kind of agree with that, but I don't think
the NBA want him to play though.
Probably. I mean, I can see that, but well, it looks like Sixers season's over, so we might as well move on to some real Philadelphia sports talk. The Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley signing. We also brought CJ Gardner-Johnson back. What y'all think about that? Oh, hold on. Did somebody want? Before we go to that, did somebody want to say something about the NBA or something too, or something that happened? I think I might have missed it on the show last time, and I wanted to bring it back up because y'all might have been talking crazy. I can't remember.
He said, "Didn't somebody want to say it?" But then he said it's something he wanted to bring up.
I can't remember.
I want to ask the fans. Maybe we'll talk about it later. But how do you like the 90s was trash and the 80s and 90s?
That's what it was. That's what it was. Go ahead. You can talk about that.
Go ahead. You're gonna elaborate on it.
What I wanted to talk about was, and y'all touched on a little bit before, was the refereeing. The one thing I do like, and I'm seeing a drastic change in the refereeing. Now, Tim's argument last time, and that's when Wayne and Tim was talking about in the last podcast, that Tim's whole claim to fame is that the defense isn't as good as it was in the 90s and all this other stuff that he was throwing out Patrick Ewing and all these other stiffs that he loved so much.
He wasn't the only one.
But even though I do like Patrick, though, I can't hate on Patrick Ewing, but he was surviving today's game. What I feel is that the defenders, honestly, I think you have more athletic, better defenders. The main problem with the game is the way the game was being refereed. It was too ticky-tack. So then because of you calling every little call, you took the power from the defenders. What you seeing now, these games like that you seeing these 189 and 90-point games without all those foul calls, that's what you're going to see. You ain't, excuse me, if they was calling a game like this all year, B or Luka wouldn't have had 70 points. Neither one of them dudes would never got no 70. They was calling the game way too what's the word I'm looking for? It gave too much of an advantage to the offense. It was way too favorable for offensive players. So every time you would go in now if the defender knows, okay, if I barely touch him, he's going to get a foul call, Now you almost got to go to the basket. But now you seeing defenders really.
Defense wasn't better in the 90s.
Yes, it was.
You know why defense wasn't better in the 90s? You just had guys that was way less athletic in the 90s, so it was easier to stay in front of.
That was nice. Stop acting like you going to the Renaissance.
Defense is about
it was.
The defense you see. First of all, you rarely see defenders out in the 90s come out past the 3-point line. Most of them stood below the 3-point line and let you shoot threes because most people didn't know how to shoot threes. So now you got defenders that have to come all the way out, and they playing you pretty much from the half court line.
Well, Knicks defense looked pretty good today, didn't it?
All the way to the basket. These defenders are athletic and they're fast. And now you're seeing, just because the way the game is ref, now you're seeing defenders really, really be able to play and get busy, and you're not going to see all that high scoring. So it wasn't about whether the defenders could play basketball or not. It was the position they were put in because of the whistle. Now you're going to see different, and you're seeing it already. I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot more.
Exactly, Master Craft. That's what. See, sometimes, and that's the other thing is we was kind of talking about that, like, and Charlie M, you're right. The athletic guys came in the 90s, but they came in the later part of the 90s. Like you had to do like AI and Kobe and all them in 96. But that's why I was saying they got into their prime in the 2000s.
Like, was most athletic when they first came into the league in the 90s.
No, they wasn't. Who?
Everybody more athletic.
Kobe wasn't even that great.
Penny Hardaway came in the 90s. He was more athletic.
Yeah, the more athletic
He's more athletic than who?
The younger you are, the more athletic you are.
Grant Hill was more athletic. Tim Hardaway's more athletic.
More athletic than who?
Anthony Hardaway's more athletic. They can't. Those are the
more athletic than who? You talking about more athletic than the old dudes from the early part of the 90s and stuff?
Yes.
No, that's why I agree. They started coming in the late 90s, and then in the 2000s, you had those guys starting to flourish.
Hakeem really wasn't a 90s player.
Yeah, he was the 80s for real.
Yeah.
I'm looking back at most of the scores, even from this week, the high and this week and last week, all the way back to last Thursday. Most of the games is around 120. I mean, the highest games are 126. That was the highest. I think the Mavericks had the highest so far, looking back the whole week, and it looked like everybody just got hot. They would score 142, and they didn't have that many free throws that game. It was actually just splashing. But for the most part, the games is the Bucks game, 90 points. Warriors 125, 119 to 109. Those are more indicative of really what should most NBA game scores should be like.
I agree. Master Crab said you're gonna respect Luka now because Luka's still doing it in these new calls, the new rules. He's still doing it.
I think them 270-point games from Luka and B made the NBA.
I agree. Oh, not even just it was everybody. Remember, it was everybody. The Maxey had like 50, then
had 60 that same night.
They was like, hold up.
I'll give Cat this. Cat didn't shoot a lot of free throws. He was hitting a lot of threes.
Yeah. No, he did. He blacked out. And to some of these players' credit, every now and then you are going to have a game like that. Somebody going to splash out for 55, 60 points and all that, but it's not going to be at the level that it was. It was getting crazy. And the main reason why is because the way the game was being officiated. But if Luka could keep it up, I'd give him credit for him. I'll give him his props if he can keep up that type of scoring, even though he ain't getting the foul call. I don't think it's going to happen, be honest with you. I think his stats is going to drop. But I don't think the way he plays, I actually sent y'all a video today, and one of the players that played him before was actually kind of mad, coming out saying that he didn't like playing with Luka. He said
where did you say that when would you say that they started making a change in calls, like around after the All-Star game or something?
Yeah, it was a little after the All-Star game. They did it. It was that. I think it was the Knicks and the Golden State Warriors is the game everybody's saying it was on prime time.
I'm trying to figure out what the date was because I'm gonna read you this. Luka and his starting February 20.
He had 6 foul shots against us. Remember,
February 26 against Phoenix, he scored 41 on 14 for 27 shooting. Against Indiana, the next game he had 33 on 10 for 21. He had 45 against Cleveland. 30 against Toronto, 37 against Boston, shooting 14 for 25, 38 against us.
What are the free throws shooting? That's what we want to look at.
Well, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, when did they start making the calls change? Well, even with that, he had 27 against Chicago, 9 for 23, but he had 12 rebounds and 14 assists. Then against Detroit, that's against Detroit, though, 39, 10 and 10. Against Miami, he had 35, 11 and 11. 12 for 24. So he's still putting up his numbers. Luka's still putting up numbers.
But didn't he have
It
70
was.
But it ain't 70 points. Yeah, but it ain't the 70. You know what I'm saying? But just saying he's still, you know what I'm saying, even with the league calling the way that they call him.
That night D had 72. Didn't he shoot like 25 free throws?
By half.
He shot 25 or 24 free throws. Listen, I understand you're gonna get hacked, but some stuff is just you can't do that to the game.
I want to see what's his name numbers gonna look like with this being called now. Trey Young. You know that boy will live for foul calls.
Yeah, he do.
Luka got game. I do. Luka does have game.
Oh, Trey injured. He ain't even playing.
Luka is like Harden almost. It's hard to win in the playoffs with Luka type basketball. We'll see.
That's what he's trying to tell you about Joel Embiid.
It's hard to win. No, Joel Embiid don't dominate the ball like Luka.
Luka averaging.
Luka brings it down.
I mean, not averaging, but
Luka does everything with the ball. Luka don't. He like Harden. He brings it down, looks around, passes it, gets it back, and then dribbles some more, and then passes it to the dude with like 5, 6 left.
But the thing is, though, Ephraim, Harden could have won like that, except for the fact that he just choked in the fourth.
Luka's usage rate is 38%, whereas Joel is 39%. So he do dominate just as much as he.
And I'm talking about the style. You're not listening to how I'm saying. The way Luka, Joel Embiid don't bring the ball down. He don't pass. He don't pass the ball, get the ball back, pass the ball, get the ball back. He don't play like most of the time. He ends up getting the ball back in the paint or somewhere, whatever, and he takes his shot. He doesn't do everything like Luka. Luka holds the ball the whole time. The ball ends up coming back to Joel.
I think Joel does the same thing.
Okay. So Joel brings the ball down like Luka?
He still holds the ball as long as Luka. He may not be doing all the dribbling that Luka does, but he's still doing it. He's still holding with the ball, having it in his hand, thinking about what shot he wants to take before he takes it.
He doesn't hold the ball as much as Luka. Luka holds the ball more, I'm telling you. And Luka and Harden is kind of the same player. I don't think you can win with the way type Luka plays basketball. I don't think you can win in the playoffs. You see that interview they had with Draymond Green? And he said that kind of play eventually wears a player down. And that's what they did with Harden. He said they wore Harden down. He said Harden would have all these good first halves, and then he will wear down, and then eventually he will fall apart. He said every game they played Houston, he said if you notice, Houston was actually up going into halftime. And he said, just watch, give it time. And they fell apart. Harden fell apart. Golden State came back and won. They did the same thing to Dallas. When they beat Dallas 5-1 in the conference final, it was the same exact thing. Luka started off good and faded as the series went on. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, SS Relay, but let me ask you something. If somebody broke into your house and stole everything out your crib, would you ever come to an acceptance point?
Yeah, you come to accept that he's a crook, and you see him for what he is. And you don't put no hope into thinking he's gonna be better.
I've never come to a acceptance point with Toby. The Sixers shouldn't either. He stole $100 million. If somebody stole $100 million from me, no.
Is it stealing if they give it to you?
$150 million.
Is it stealing if they give it to you?
No, they didn't give it to you. They gave it to you expecting something.
He like a bad contract.
He delivered. That's like somebody giving me $100 million.
They gave it to him because there was nobody else to give it to.
That's like somebody giving me $100 million to build them a mansion, and I built them a row house. They gonna accept that?
What? So what you think they always thought Toby was gonna have a mansion type game?
That's what they.
That's on you.
That's what you paid him for. You paid him for that.
Yep.
If somebody sit there and see you building row houses all this time, and then just say, "All right, do what you do. I'm gonna pay you this much money. I'm gonna give you $1 million. Do what you do." And that's Toby doing what he do. They overpaid for what he do.
And by the way, that first game that we played with the Knicks, Embiid did play, and we got routed by over 35 points. So it didn't matter as far as him being near whether we gonna play any different.
Was that the game? That was a game with Oubre and what?
Tobias still gave us 5 points, and Embiid dropped 30. And Maxey had 27, and Oubre had us 15. So it doesn't matter about it's so different when Joel's there. No, we still got smoke. It's a bad matchup. A physical team, we don't match up because we're not built right.
So then why you ripping Toby for losing against a team that we always lose against even when we got beat?
Because he's the common denominator.
No, evidently the Knicks is the common denominator. No matter what,
Kobe.
We might not get past the Knicks in the playoffs.
Yeah, we probably won't. The Knicks is a bad matchup for us. At least this year.
You talking about the game when you said the first game that we played against
first
them?
game of the season.
That the one when B was hurt? That Ethan was just talking about B being hurt?
No, and B dropped 30 points that game. He wasn't hurt.
Yeah, he dropped 30 something. He ain't dropped 30 something that game Ethan was talking about. That's why he came back in to get the numbers.
No, that's totally different. No, I'm talking about the fact that he played that game and we still lost. We got routed.
Yeah, that might have been a game. That's the second game?
No, the second game we lost to that one too.
One game and B came back in. Hurt.
It wasn't the Knicks.
Yeah, it was the Knicks.
You just said the Knicks. Yeah, it was the Knicks. He came back in. Ethan just said that.
It was the Knicks.
Oh,
he had 30-10. He had 30-10 that game?
I know he had 30.
Did he have his 10 rebounds?
Let me look.
That'll answer your question. Because remember he was on that 30-10 run?
Yeah, and he refused. I didn't know that was the team.
I'm shocked the officials was calling the game as crazy as they was. Like, I'm kind of shocked that they had.
What game you talking about? This one?
Yeah, he finished with 30-10. That might.
I'm talking about in general. Like, I'm just looking at some of the scores now and how they coming back down to earth. I'm just shocked. They
really playing. It looks as though they're allowing these teams to play playoff type, what we know to be playoff basketball. Like for real, if you look at it, it's a couple times even for the Sixers, I was like, they beat that ball up. The one Joe Oubre basically socked the ball in the jaw. He hit Brunson in the face. They called nothing.
I prefer it to be like that. I prefer almost a street, not necessarily jailhouse type ball.
So you want 90s basketball?
No, I prefer college basketball. Like college basketball, and now college basketball to get a little too touchy with the whistle too. But I remember for years, the whistle in college was way less sensitive than the whistle in the NBA. I like that whistle. Let them play ball. Every time somebody go in the paint and go up aggressive, and you got a dude or two dudes collide, and it's not a foul every time. Sometimes it's a good play at the basket, and you know what the NBA don't for some reason don't rule. They don't seem to follow. The hand is part of the ball rule. Every time somebody hand is on a ball and their hand gets slapped, they call a foul. Now they don't.
You know the other rule?
Huh?
You know the other rule? Remember the rule? It was supposed to be in the rule. If a defender goes straight up and down, it's not a foul. They got away from letting that go, and they started calling that too.
I agree. And now they're not. Now they're going back to actually calling the rules because the hand is actually part of the ball. That's an official rule. But every time somebody got their hand slapped, even though it had the ball in their hand, they would call a foul. So now it looks like they're getting back to the fundamental rules, and I'm liking what I see.
I actually think that could work to the Sixers' advantage if B could come back healthy, because on defense, that means B could be even more aggressive on defense.
Yeah, pause, MOTC. Yeah, it could. It could work to their advantage. We'll see. I mean, don't look like he's coming back no time soon, unfortunately, but I think that's it for Sixers and basketball talk. That was the point I wanted to make too. We could have another conversation about which era was better, because that was a good conversation Tim and Wayne was having. Even though I wasn't on that pod, I actually listened to that whole pod they was having, but that whole conversation rather. But on to the Eagles. What y'all think about the moves being made so far with Saquon and them? Y'all liking that or what?
I came to accept it. I like the bull Swift. I wanted to keep Swift here, cheaper, younger. I think he's just explosive as Saquon myself. But we'll see. We'll see.
I kind of feel like
Saquon had major injuries.
I just want to go on record.
Running back.
I just want to go on record to say I was the only one out of the four of us who was on board with this trade. All of them had what they all like. No.
What with the signing?
I mean,
you mean the signing?
Yeah, with
the that's not what I said.
I don't think none of us was
like,
supposed
to have Swift.
Where did I say that? No,
let me
finish my thoughts.
But you trying to tell me.
There it is.
All right. So I'm going on record to say I was the only one, and we all were fans of Swift. But I said the reason why this was good because we didn't have any true blocking backs last year on our team. Nobody was able to when that blitz came. We ain't had nobody that was picking up the blitz, kind of like how Deuce used to do back in the day, even Westbrook used to do back in the day. This is something that Saquon can do. Running out the clock at the end of games you got somebody that actually can run the ball. That's a
as long as the quarterback handed off.
He's an every down back, which we didn't have an every down back on our squad last year. That's hate.
Swift was every down back. They just didn't use him as every down back.
Okay, but now but if you're not going to use them because you don't trust them, you got to get somebody that you trust, and they trust Saquon. Saquon is big. He can do everything. He can catch. You put him on a linebacker. He can expose.
As long as he plays the game. As long as he's there.
If he's healthy, there's no doubt in my mind that he's a premier back. If he's
legit. And like I said, I was the only one I said I like this move. None of the three of them was like they liked it. So I'm letting y'all know now. So all of a sudden they get on Joe.
Tim is spinning the false narrative again.
I want to let other people get in, but how do you sign that much in the running back and you're not a running team? You don't run the ball like that.
It's a whole different offensive coordinator.
We gonna see how Saquon feel when he run the ball, get all the way down to the 1 yard line, and Jalen coming there with the brotherly shove, still in his shine. We gonna see how that go.
You can actually get Saquon back there. That'll probably be a better option to keep Hurts from getting hurt.
Exactly.
I mean,
them hurts. That's gonna drop.
Let me tell you what I actually said, and not Tim putting words in nobody's mouth. I said I don't mind. I like Saquon. I always like Saquon. I like Saquon when he's in Penn State. I always thought he was a powerful, explosive back. My only trepidation with the boy Saquon is that he's had 2 major surgeries, one on his ankle, one on his knee. He's 27 years old. Swift is 25. He's a better pass blocker. I agree. However, he stands to make $46 million.
So what?
You could have signed, listen, I'm not done. You could have signed Swift for $20 million less and used that money elsewhere in positions that we vitally need, like linebacker. I'm glad you bought CJ Gardner-Johnson back as a safety. That was huge. Defensive end and offensive line. Who's backing up? Who's coming in for Kelsey? Who's the backup that we have?
They got the guy that Kelsey handpicked is the one that they got supposed to be coming in.
They already got the center. Is that Landon Dickerson? Which one?
No, but there's not going to be. I think Landon. They still trying to. They ain't really say who yet because Landon Dickerson, if I'm not mistaken, in college was a beast at center, and they moved him.
That's going to be our next center for the next 10
but
years.
But it's another guy that they got. Is his name Cam? I just was looking at it, but whatever it is, they said because remember when Kelsey was going to retire before, but then he said the young boy that he handpicked wasn't ready yet, so he came back to play because he didn't think the young boy was ready yet. So now it's like, you know what I'm saying, he's endorsing the bull. He's saying that the bull reminds him the most of himself. That's what he said. So I'm not sure. Cam Jerkins, Uncle Al, that's who it is. Cam Jerkins is the bull, I think.
Like I said, I like Saquon. I don't have no problem with him as a runner. I just is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to maintain at least? I don't even expect him to play 16 games. Can he give me 13 to 14 games?
He'd be all right. He never had a good offensive line in New York. He has one here in Philadelphia. He doesn't have to be the number one option in Philly. He got 2 great wide receivers. Plus, he got
a running back quarterback.
Yeah.
So he can compete with the quarterback.
I don't know about
compete with the quarterback for running yards.
That DN MOTC, who the jury's still out on this DN. Tim, according to the Tim stats and Wayne stats, Tim said he only played 40% of their snaps. 47%.
And he only had 10 sacks, and 2 of them was against the Eagles. And I actually looked at a YouTube video of all his stats. I don't know, but he looked like he's a good tackler though. I ain't gonna hold you. It looked like, you know what I'm saying, when he got once he got his paws on you, he brought you down. But that being said, his sacks, it wasn't like it wasn't even like
that's
just
my
a
point,
super explosive type joint. So,
Chris,
I don't know.
McCullen, that's my point about these light in the pants DNs. Huff is a light in the pants D. He's not an every down end. He's cheeks against the run. Yes. And what's going to happen when he come in there? They're going to run right to his side.
As long as Jalen throw them swing passes to the running back and them check downs to the running back instead of looking for the deep ball all the time, Saquon can have the match.
And that's even perfect because now if you that read option, come on, man.
I don't want no read option. Just hand the ball off.
But I don't want to read option either.
I'm not leaving nothing to Jalen to decide if he want to read.
Kind of got away from the read option last year.
Hand the ball off.
Hand the ball off.
By the way, Ethan, when I said we signed Barkley, the first thing Ethan said was dumb.
I would have kept Swift.
Ethan already said. Ethan just told you in the pod. He just said.
I told you I learned to accept it.
Yeah,
I got to talk to Darrell too. I got to see how Darrell doing.
Oh yeah.
So what everybody else say?
You were like, this is stupid.
I said what?
This is stupid.
I ain't say that.
I know.
What Tim is trying to do, he's trying to set up a narrative for himself. So
to be like, I was right.
Yeah,
this is working damn dumb.
No, you said everybody on here. That's what you said. You said
yes, you said you was the only one that was on board with it.
Yes,
I was.
Okay, here we go. I do. So I'm so happy they brought CJ back. That we should have never lost CJ last year.
Did y'all look at his tweet? Did y'all look at his tweet?
I saw it. I didn't see no comments. You said something about the comments.
Yeah, because if you click in the comments, so he said he was like, I owe the Philly fans an apology, regardless of this. Regardless, this is an amazing place, and we had some memories together. Let's go get it. So the responses to during the first ball was like, "No, you were right. I'm an obnoxious a-hole, and I love you." I was like, "Apology for what?" And he gave like the meme, like he coming to give him a hug and a handshake. But that's what most of them were saying. They was like, "Nah, you know what I'm saying? You stand on 10 toes on what you said, but let's get it." I mean, but that's what Philly is about. Like, we'll rip a ball. Like even when he left, it's like, all right, you say what you said. It was the same thing with Jimmy. Remember when Jimmy Rollins was like said front runners or something, and the Philly fans was going at him. Jimmy was like, "Oh, listen, they do what they do, but you know what I'm saying? They can be a little hard on it, but they expect that. Philly fans respect that when a dude is being genuine. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to play. You can't be a Tobias Harris. You got to play."
What about the bull who came out? Who was that dude who came out and said he was talking with Big Play Slay? And he said he had to get out of here because his mental health was being drastically affected because
he retired cornerback. Was that the bull?
Yeah, he retired.
Was that the one from Seattle? He was here for like 1 or 2 years. He said he found himself arguing with the Philly fans after he made a play.
That was hilarious.
That don't mess around. Be AJ. That's like AJ. That's something AJ Brown to do.
But I don't make excuses for the Philly fans. They're some of the worst people alive. I mean, a lot of stuff they say that they think is okay because you pay money. I mean,
all right. That's like, all right, this boy said, yeah, we toxic dog, but it's all love. You're a legend in this city. The other dude said, appreciate you. But it is. And somebody, like one of the other comments said, what do you say?
It was Steve.
Oh, Steve Nelson. One of the other comments said, family, if you ain't fighting, you ain't family. Family fight at times. That's all. It was a family fight. You was mad. He said something. We said something. You mad, but then it's like, all right, let's go handle business.
No, it's also deliveries. It's what you say.
Eagles fans was mad they lost him. Be honest with you.
And that's what one of the other bulls said. Bull said we wouldn't have been acting out like that if we didn't want you to stay here. Like that's what we was bad because you left.
So that's all.
He was getting into it with the fans too, so he had to.
So with Tobias Lee, we're gonna be upset.
What'd you say?
So we saying all these things about Tobias, if we're gonna be saying the same thing.
No, Tobias didn't baller. Tobias wasn't a baller. Tobias wasn't a baller though. CJ Gardner-Johnson was a baller here.
Yeah, I mean, I see the point Tim's saying. Sometimes fans could get a little much. I do agree with that. Sometimes fans could go overboard with what they call passion.
Exactly.
It is a line sometimes that has to be drawn, but it's not just Philadelphia fans. This is fans all over the place.
But we are notorious. Philadelphia is notorious.
That's because that's the narrative, bro. Stop that.
No.
You don't think Raiders fans when they was in Oakland was horrible?
I'm not defending them.
It's Cleveland fans.
It's more stories coming out about Philly fans being more aggressive and more having more venom than almost any other fan base. I don't think there's no fan base like ours, bro.
Because other people don't care like that.
Fans care. That's not caring.
It is caring because it hurts when our teams lose. That's why our fans go in.
That's what the slave master used to say when he used to beat the slave. He said, I beat you because I care. That's what the slave master say. So I'm not
slave master ain't never. That's what your parents told you back in the 80s.
So
that was the parents said back in the 80s. Wasn't no slave master saying I care.
The slave master
said I'm whooping you because I want my work done.
No, he said the same thing because I'm keeping you in check. That's how I keep you in line. And that's the mentality that some fans have with players. We keeping you in line. We forcing you to be better. And it's a thin line between being disrespectful and being hard on your players. And sometimes Philadelphia fans, especially certain fans, they overstep that line very, very egregiously. I kind of agree with Tim with that a little bit. I don't mind you being hard and all that kind of stuff like that, and the booing and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it get a little extra. That's all I'm saying.
Who you know the guy that got CJ Carr? Remember CJ Johnson Carr got stole?
Someone that John said.
Someone that John said he would buy him. He said he go to him and Carson Wentz church. The boy that stole his car.
So some boy said, "I'll buy you a car. You coming back? I'll replace your car." No, but see, listen. I get it what y'all saying about Philly fans, and I do think sometimes I get what y'all saying, but that's just like, all right. Remember when Isaiah Thomas came here, the little boy came here, and he was playing against us, and he like shot the free throw and he missed or made it or something. He made it, and the boy started cussing him out, and he walked over to him. And he started talking to the boy. Boy was like, "My bad, man. I just wanted to free Frosty." You know what I'm saying? So it was like Isaiah was doing an interview after that, Jordan. He was like, yeah. He was like, I went up and said to him, he's like, he wanted Frosty. So yeah, I had a look on his face like, oh, all right. Like, but it was like, you was being extra about me making the shot, but that's just getting caught up in the moment.
That was really acceptable to you, though.
Yeah, come on, bro. All right, are Philly fans going out there trying to fight these dudes? You got some of these other fan bases be sitting up there ready to fight these players.
Now, I don't think that wasn't that bad to me. That Frosty Joy wasn't that bad.
That was funny.
That was actually
remember the boy that was giving Russell Westbrook the salute, and they put him out.
Oh yeah,
you remember that the boy was giving Russell Westbrook the salute.
Oh, in Philly.
Yeah. Philly. He was like, and they had went and put the ball out.
Like I'm a Philly fan, and but it's just
games. We've had people offer us tickets to go to the game. Tim like, nah, I'm gonna watch at home. I don't want to hear. Don't sit there and talk about the environment at the game. You sit there watching in your laboratory all the time.
No, listen. It is a segment of fans. It is a segment of fans you got to control, but I do think that the majority of the Philly fan base are just passionate fans who want to see their team win and go hard. And truth be told, I honestly believe a lot of that home field advantage that we have is based off of how aggressive the fans treat the opposing team. You know what I'm saying? So that adds up to, some of that home field advantage that we get. Players don't like, boy, and a lot of ex-players will tell you that. They don't like coming here. Like, you come in here, you going to get harassed the whole game nonstop. So that adds to some of the home field advantage that we got as well. So I'm not poo-pooing on Philly fans. I'm just saying sometimes some people do too much.
But guess what? The same player, and it'd be having most of them other players, them same players that'll be on another team talking about they can't stand Philly fans, this, that, another. When they come here, they love the Philly fans because they'll be playing in places where other people don't show no kind of passion for the sport.
You remember back in the day, people couldn't even go to Vet Stadium and go to 700 level because
you know how long ago? You know that was like 20 years ago with Vet Stadium, right?
But guess what? They got
20
kids.
Years ago.
They got kids. Don't people have kids? They raised them to be just like that.
Vet Stadium closed in 2022, 2002, something like that.
I agree with that, X-Man. I agree with all fan bases got jerks. Exactly. I would say this. T.O. said T.O. he probably played for more teams as a superstar than any other NFL player in history. And he said Philadelphia fans are by far the best fans he ever played for.
I'm not saying that we don't have great fans. I'm just saying there's a significant segment of the population of Philadelphia that go overboard when it comes to that fan. That's a fair assessment.
Overboard to me is trying to fight a bull. Words.
It's not significant.
It's significant.
Significant. Just like, what's your percentage? Like you saying? 10, 20, 15, 50%? What you saying?
I really don't know if I can put a number on it. Like, we love Philly. Philly is different. We know we are different. You can acknowledge that we are different.
But guess what? We take it and dish it out.
No, we don't. We
don't take it well.
We do.
We do not.
At the moment, we don't. But guess what? The same way with Gardner Johnson. He said what he said, and what we say as soon as he come back, like it's all love, dog.
He had to come back. Come on, bro. If he ain't never come back, it would have never been love.
Bro, what? Listen, it don't matter. You ain't supposed to love the other team. You ain't supposed to.
All right.
So was Tiki Barber out of pocket with saying what he said to Saquon Barkley?
No, Tiki said it kind of tongue in cheek because he said
tongue in cheek.
Yeah, because he said he would something like he said he wish him well or whatever, but then he was like, I ain't speaking to you. It was something like whereas though, you know what I'm saying, he just like you went to the enemy.
That TO chant was though. There ain't never been a chant like that. So biased about that
T-O.
That's why Donovan ain't want him here no more. Y'all love Donovan.
It ain't never been a chant. That chant was. It was legendary. It was.
So that Tiki, the whole Tiki Barber thing, Saquon looked like he's a little bit emotional, like he's a little sensitive.
Yes, X-Men, I was going to mention that too. The Cleveland brand fans that threw batteries at John Elway.
Well, we threw batteries at Santa Claus.
No, we threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
I agree with that. I agree with
it. Was a drunk Santa Claus. It was a drunk crackhead that was being Santa Claus, and that's why they were throwing. They was like, "Yo, man, you don't get this Fugazi Santa out this joint, and we getting smoked."
Can I live to the fans from the suburbs that grow entitled? If you know what I mean. That's kind of where I was kind of going with. Can I live? I like the way you worded that. Yes, there's a lot of entitled fans that come to that think they can say whatever they want when they want to say it because they pay for a certain seat.
That's true, and we also had a police station in the stadium at one point because of the fans.
You do know that the Eagles wasn't the only ones that had that, right?
We was the first. We were the first.
Fact check that.
First.
Fact check that.
We set the precedent for everybody else to do.
Check that.
Tawana told me.
Yeah, CJ Gardner. Yeah, I'm so glad we got him back, man. We should never let him go. I'm so glad he came back. He was one of the missing pieces because the ball from the Titans didn't work out at all. He looked lost out there to me.
Listen, we're not going to talk. I ain't saying the Eagles fans is civilized. I ain't gonna say because civilized people ain't gonna be out there eating horse doo-doo when you
that was one person. Stop trying to take one person and put them on a whole city. That was one mentally ill dude who probably he probably on dialysis right now.
That was
we got grease poles whenever we went pause, but we got grease poles whenever we go to win because these fools want to climb light poles and stuff. What we gonna grease the poles? Especially down 13th for Spruce.
It's clearly getting late. It's clearly getting late.
Now we can wrap this thing up.
You like kids are sleepy. You don't know how to act.
All right, y'all. This was a fun show. We needed this. Sixers lost. We do miss Embiid.
Sixers got waxed.
Sixers got waxed.
And next game is against Milwaukee. Oh boy, we got this schedule is
not favorable. It's not favorable.
So like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Thanks for the support. We catch you on the next podcast.
We need 50